Hey, so look, there's been a pony game in development for about 9 years. Like, actually 9 years. It's crazy. It's been playable on PC for a while. I think it's been playable on PC for like 5 years, maybe 3 or so years, something like that. I have no idea how long it's been available on PC, but it's been available on PC for a while. They released a mobile version of the game recently, and I've tried the game on PC twice in the past few years. I've tried it once last year, and I tried it once the year before that, and so on and so on. I've tried it many times, and I didn't like it on PC that much. I thought it was, I thought it had a lot of issues, and I gave them a pass because the more I played it, the more it seemed like it was in early development, and it was like, oh, this is just more of like a demo more than anything. And then they obviously announced the mobile thing, and the mobile version came out and stuff like that. And this is when I learned that the game has been in development for 9 years. They've been working on this game for 9 whole years. It's actually crazy because, like I said, the PC version didn't feel like it had 9 years of development behind it. It felt like it had like a year of development behind it, or a few months or something like that. So it didn't seem that good. But I decided, why not try this mobile version? Maybe if they're releasing a mobile version, maybe they finally got, the game up to a standard that they thought was good enough to release on mobile. So why not give it a shot? It should be good, right? It should be good. They've had 9 years, and 9 years is a long time to make a game with plenty of polish and everything like that. Oh, fuck, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, what is this, oh, please, I'll give you your money, just don't look at me like that. Why? Just why? How even? Okay, so I guess I should explain. What this game even is. This game is called Legends of Equestria now, or it's called LOE on the App Store. So if you look this up on the App Store as Legends of Equestria, it will not come up. You have to search LOE on the App Store. The only way it comes up. But first thing that I have to say about this game is that it somehow has been lucky to avoid copyright laws. And this is one of those things that really discourage me from playing the game, as well as reasons why I kind of almost try to discourage other people from getting really hyped about the game, because they don't even try to hide the stuff that they just stole from the show, or not necessarily stole from the show, but just copied from it. The building models are ripped straight out of the show, and funnily enough, the textures were also probably screenshots from the show too, because they are very, very shitty, low-quality textures of those buildings. The Golden Oaks Library is a very, very distinct building. We all know this. It's very distinct in the show, and yet it's exactly the same as it is in this game. It's exactly the same in this game. It's a blatant copy. That's not even mentioning how there's different monsters and stuff like that are in the show, that are in this game as well, that you can fight and stuff like that. And these monsters are exact copies of the show. Manticore there is the Timberwolves, all that stuff. They're there. And it's crazy because it's an exact copy of it. They just got like some 3D model of it and just put it in the game, and it's an exact copy of what it is in the show. It's insane how they even got away with it for this long. So, in my opinion, if this game does have some kind of future, which I personally don't see in large part due to that copyright infringement, they're going to need to make some major changes if they think that they're going to have any kind of future with this game. I am like so fast, I can't control it. It's crazy. Oh my god, it's actually hard to control. The controls are actually difficult. Holy shit. How do you that's actually hard to mess up out of everything. This is kind of weird. I can like jiggle this around. Camera sensitivity, change that down a little bit. Done. See if that helps. I barely touched it. I barely touched the sensitivity. Why would it be that bad now? What? Now, secondly, as you saw, the game lacks major polish. It is lacking basic features, and the features that it does have are completely broken. Don't even give me the excuse of, it's in early access, or it's new. They've been working on the game for 9 fucking years, like 9 whole years working on this game. Now, sure, granted, they didn't give that much time towards the app, but you would think, like, holy fuck, you would think that much experience would grant you better capability or even pride to make sure that the most basic shit works. So much doesn't work. You have NPCs that just have giant white boxes with red question marks for cutie marks, for crying out loud. Like, that's fucking insane. Why? It's bad. Some of the quests even tell you to use keyboard and mouse to move your character around. You can't possibly be lacking that much polish. It screams laziness. I don't even know how this works. I think I can double tap them and then... They don't even care about me. Not enough energy now. Okay, well, bye, random bee that doesn't care about me. There's combat in this game, and I have to say it's absolute shit. Not only can you barely hit any attack or aim at enemies or anything you'd expect, it's completely impossible to control, but you also just randomly die while wandering around the forest. Like, completely randomly. Oh shit, that killed me! How did that kill me? I think I'm getting closer to the exclamation point. What hit me? Nothing. What? Why did I just randomly die? What? Luckily, the only penalty to this is just respawning at the edge of the forest. Are you fucking shitting me? If you die, you... I can't with this game anymore. Fuck them. They're gonna die in the woods. I'm leaving them alone. They get to stay in the woods. This game is awful. They can just die now. Like I did, like 7-10 times. In fact, I'm gonna go sleep by this tree. I'm gonna sit right here. I'm gonna go to sleep, even though it's the middle of the day. And yes, I do sleep with my eyes open. Why are the eyes open? Even when you don't die and you make it to the next part of the quest, dying still sends you miles and miles away. So now you have to walk and hope you don't randomly die just to get to a section where you have to fight. This wouldn't be as bad if there wasn't as bad direction, like if there was better direction to this game, or the map itself was smaller, or the actual like mini map in the top left corner actually worked, because spoilers, the map is broken. In the school at the very beginning, I didn't even notice this at the very beginning of when I first booted up the game. I didn't notice, but the mini map was broken there. It's broken here in the forest. It's broken all over the place. It doesn't work. Now there's exclamation marks that are supposed to direct you towards quests. Now, in the first quest where you have to talk to all the players, or not all the players, but you have to talk to all the NPCs, there's question mark or exclamation marks above them and things like that. But for some reason, it just doesn't show them after that. And you have no idea how to get back to the school, and you're just left wandering throughout the entire time trying to find the school when there's no exclamation mark there. So the exclamation mark doesn't even always show, so that's just great. That's perfect. I'm constantly having to look for where I am or where to go, and that is worsened by the other broken parts of the game. And that other broken part of the game is the camera that I lost the ability to control in the first 5 minutes of the game. I'm not even exaggerating with that either. I literally lost control within the first 5 minutes. And it was impossible to fix. I logged out, I logged back in, I left the game, closed the app, forced closed the app, went back in, over and over and over again. Nothing was fucking working. It was broken, and I couldn't get the camera, and that is a very crucial part of this game, because part of the game is exploring and being able to look around, and if you can't look around, good luck even dealing with the combat in the first place. Every broken part of this game is worsened by another broken part of the game. Some of the UI is literally just low-quality JPEGs that they probably didn't even make themselves. Like, legit, I've probably seen some of these on Google once and didn't even realize. Some of it isn't always needed. Some of it doesn't have to always be there on show. It doesn't have to always be there on display. For example, the chat bar, it's always stretched out like this. You can't do anything about it. And then you have the bits in the top right corner. I don't need to know how many bits I have until I need to do something involving bits. Only show that up when I earn bits or lose bits, or if I'm at a place where I can spend bits. Make it go away until I need it, because I want to be able to see more of the game, and that combined with the broken camera, combined with weird movement and everything else, it's just, it's a fucking nightmare. So, the audio, I was going to do a clip here where it's going to show my live reaction, but the audio is literally so awful here because it's recorded through phone. But essentially, I discovered that you could go into first person, and I was like, oh, hell yeah, I can be first person. I am Skella. And then I ran at this door trying to break in. Obviously, I wasn't able to do that, and I was a little bit disappointed. And I was like, okay, that's cool. Let's exit first person now. And then I couldn't do it. I messed with the chat a little bit to try and get it out of the way. Before I tried to exit, I thought maybe the chat was in the way or something, so I was trying to get it out of the way. But it wasn't in the way. I just couldn't exit first person, and then just randomly I was moving, and suddenly I wasn't in first person anymore. So there's I'm sorry I couldn't get my live reaction on that because the audio was literally so bad. But there you have it. That's what happened there. It was pretty bad, and I was very upset. and also scared because I thought I was stuck like this forever. Now, I don't think I've mentioned the movement yet until then, but let me talk about the movement now. The movement feels very, very weird, and I have a very specific way to describe it, and that is that the movement feels like you are on the moon, but also on ice at the same time. It is absolutely awful, it is dog shit to control, and somehow, by some crazy magic, they actually made the dialogue control the same way. Whenever you talk to an NPC, you can scroll, and sometimes it has like multiple options to choose from to reply and stuff like that. It's so hard to scroll on that. It's so floaty, it's so fucking floaty, that it's hard to scroll through because anything that you do makes it think that you're trying to move it to the left or right, when instead you're trying to move it up and down, because obviously you're trying to move the text up and down, because why would you try to be moving it to the right or left? That makes no freaking sense. So, that pretty much does it with all my thoughts, but if you're wondering why I'm being so harsh with this game, it's because the MLP community has been around for like 10 plus years. It's been around for a very long time at this point, and we've gone through a whole generation. We've gone through all of Gen 4, Gen 5 is right around the corner, and we have absolutely no games to show for it other than random Flash games, Ponytown, and shit like this. How has the community gone a whole generation without making a decent game inspired by the show? One that wasn't a ripoff of everything from the show, and one that wasn't a shitty cash grab by Gameloft. You know what I'm talking about. You know, the shitty Farmville ripoff that they made, or the weird Infinite Runner thing that they made with Rainbow Dash, I think it was. The desire for a pony game is exactly how I found Ponytown to begin with. I searched a real long time back in 2018 and finally found an actual game, one that actually seemed good, but even it was still in early development, and it still is to this day, and we're here in 2021. It's crazy. It's still in early development. It absolutely blows my mind. We need games like Legends of Equestria, but we need a version of it that works, that is fun, and isn't copying so much that they are only one email away from closing down for good. Now, I was extremely negative in this video so far, so I want to end on a positive note. So I'm going to mention a couple of games that are in development that look promising, that are pony related and things like that. First up is Ambient White. This thing is, oh my god, it looks fucking amazing. This thing looked next gen when I first saw it, so I don't know how well it looks now, but it looks really amazing in terms of graphics and things like that. The gameplay seems very interesting, and their plans for it are very interesting as well. It's actually going to release in a few years, according to the website, if I'm not mistaken, unless they change that again or something. But it's in development, and it's going to be released at some point, so that's going to be fantastic. That's going to be really fun. There's also another game called Lords of Ponykeep, which is made by like one person, maybe two people. I'm pretty sure it's made by like basically just one person, but you should look that up too because it is very good, and they release demos to Patreon supporters, I believe. It's very specific who they release the demos to, but they release demos every now and again, and it looks really good from what I've seen and stuff, so take it that way you will. And I do hope that you enjoyed this. I feel like I ranted so much about this game, but like I said, I'm only hard on it because we've wanted a game like this forever, and we finally get something a little bit close to it, and it's just shit. It's broken in so many ways, and honestly, there's no excuse for them at this point. They've been working on stuff for 9 years. I know game development is hard, but when you have 9 years of experience and you're working on this, maybe at a certain point you could have admitted that you bit off more than you could chew and close it down and start something new that's a little bit smaller scale. But that's all I have to say. I do hope that you enjoyed my little rant here. If you did, please do consider liking, subscribing, sharing, and doing all those wonderful things like that. Because when you do those wonderful things like that, not only do you get access to wonderful content such as this, but you also get to become wonderful yourself. And I think we all want that. So do those wonderful things, and until next time, stay wonderful.